Okay, it says my OBS just reconnected. Did I lose it? That's weird. My internet connection's good. Huh. Okay, well, I don't know if anyone's still there, but we're done setting up the sim, so I'm going to sim it. Okay, so 8 different teams, all exactly the same, completely average players, all standardized, same ballpark factors, all 1.0 ballpark factors, coaching off, player development off. There's no reason these players should play any differently. Oh, good, Baffle's still here. The only thing different is each team is running a different strategy. And by strategy, I mean the pull down strategies where you can pick traditional, balanced, moderate, small ball. And in the first few times we did this, the results were almost completely different. So if it's kind of random again this time, it's going to start leading me towards the idea that maybe strategy doesn't matter. And we're just going to blast through this sim. It just takes a few minutes to sim a season if you're not like stopping to look at the All-Star game or stopping to look at stats. All right. March was just 2 games, so this first week will. Okay, Sabermetrics running away with it. Okay, Sabermetrics running away with it in both leagues so far. Okay, this is more like what we saw in Sim 1, except Small Ball Oakland is number 1 again, which is weird. Who talking about? You did not miss the Spore D Block Detroit KC All Star game because I asked them, when do you want to do this and what's the format? Like best of 7, best of 9? And no one ever got back to me, but thank you for the reminder. I think it will be fun to do. So I will remind them that they were going to do that because I want to see them do that. And I would be happy to do that on my stream. An interesting thing, Huchana Ball, is when we do that, and it's just 2 teams, should we turn down the normalization? I think we should. Huchana Ball is going to make it up yourself if you don't. Okay, Sabermetric is leading again. Sabermetric and Tactician tied in the NL, which is what happened the first time. The only weird thing that's changed is Small Ball Oakland keeps doing well. Oh, you're going to remind them? That would be awesome. I would like to still see that happen. All right. So Small Ball has jumped up to the lead in the NL too. This is crazy. We had a triple play. Interesting. I just noticed in the news feed that one of the starters got hurt helping a friend move. And I thought we had turned injuries off. Yeah, injuries are off. So how did starter 2 get injured helping a friend move? And also, why isn't that message showing up? Because I have almost every message type checked. What's helping a good friend move? That's weird that I can't get that message back. Which team is missing a starter too? I wonder if it matters that I didn't have the AI set lineups and stuff before we started. Okay, no one's missing a starter too. You would have held two, but you wouldn't have gotten hurt. If I was a professional athlete, I wouldn't be doing jack. Like, how did Bobby Ojeda cut his finger off using an electric hedge clipper? If I'm a major league pitcher, I'm not touching electric hedge clippers. Are you kidding me? I think we got more ads. Yeah, who's trying to ball? I was saying you're always a welcome addition to this chat, but then I realized tonight I think you are the chat, especially since my OBS glitched and it came back. I think we only have like about a fifth of the viewers back, so I think the bots and the AFKs didn't come back. But yeah, anyway, I don't know how much you heard, but like, if I'm Bobby Ojeda, I'm not touching hedge clippers ever. There's no way I would risk hurting my pitching hand. I'm not doing yard work. I'm not. Yeah, there's nothing that's going to come close to my pitching hand or arm. I don't know how he ends up chopping his finger off with hedge clippers. All right, let's do another month here. Man, a small ball is at the top on both leagues now. They were dead last in the first one. And sabermetrics at the bottom of the AL, they were tops in both leagues before. I mean, these results are all over the place enough that I'm actually starting to think that strategy just does not matter. It's okay, if every team is identical, running a sim should be a crapshoot. Like, there's no reason one team would win over another other than random number generator. And so it's kind of like using marbles to give away packs, right? Playing marbles is assumed to be as random as spinning a wheel because it's all RNG based. Well, if every team in the league is identical, then playing a season should be like playing marbles. It should just be random what team wins. And I thought, though, introducing something like strategy would then make it not random and would just reflect which is the best strategy. But the fact that the results keep seeming random means to me that strategy maybe doesn't matter, which would be a mind blowing thing to learn because I'm assuming most tournament players are adjusting their sliders for their teams, or at least picking a preset either that they made or one that they like. All right, these are the final regular season stats. I inadvertently simmed into the playoffs. We'll go back and finish the playoffs, but small ball is first in both leagues. They were last in both leagues in the first sim. Sabermetric won both leagues. Sabermetric is last in the American League. Yeah, oh, Baffle, that's a great point. Baffle, okay, Baffle saying that strategy would only be effective if you built the team around it. Or, I mean, I think I'm saying the same thing as you, but or you craft your strategy based on your team. I mean, I guess technically they're a little different, but to your point, having different, like putting different strategies on this on a completely average team, I I think it's the averageness of the teams that's making it meaningless. Baffle, I think you're a genius. I think you've cracked it. So when there are no differences on the teams, strategy doesn't mean much. But if your team has certain strengths and weaknesses, then picking the right strategy can make a huge difference. Man, I don't know which is more shocking. Like to learn that strategy might not matter if your team is average, or that Baffle just blew me away with his genius. This is the first time Baffle's heard Baffle and genius in the same sentence. No, man, what you said makes so much sense. I'm a little embarrassed that I didn't think of that. But that is, I think, absolutely right. So we're not showing that strategy that that none of these strategies is better than the others. What we're showing is for strategy to matter, the teams have to have strength or weaknesses that make your strategy meaningful. Don't be embarrassed. I mean, I am a genius. Okay, who tried a ball? I can't call you a genius because I don't think a genius would let their girlfriend listen to them watch an OOTP Twitch stream. I think that in itself is a sign of non genius. Man, I'm just I'm just basking in the discovery that Baffle just dropped on my head. That is really cool. I think that's right. Baffle says, if you and your girlfriend are watching this at this hour, you're doing this all wrong, my man. And for some reason, adding my man at the end of that sentence makes it extra funny. Making nachos. I hope that's a euphemism for something. All right, let's check out this playoffs. I inadvertently started them. Let's see. Let's finish them off. I liked who was it on Sports Center who would be like showing highlights and say That's 463 if you're scoring at home, or even if you're alone. The Baffle's thinking the same thing. What are the kids calling it these days? Making nachos. All right. I think I'm going to, you know what, Baffle? I think this was a success even before you dropped your genius house because I think showing that, because here's the thing, I would have called it and said, today's experiment was a success because we're on the path to showing that strategy doesn't matter. But Baffle's insight made it a grand slam. It took it from like a single or double of a sim of a stream to like a grand slam, which is that strategy won't matter anytime you have an average team because you have nothing to strategize around. You need the strategy to fit the team to maximize the team. But when the team is just totally flat, there's nothing to build on. That is awesome. Yeah, P-Boom, it makes sense, right? And can you believe it came from Baffle, man? That's amazing. I had to like completely rewrite my mental map of Baffle. Well, that sounds bad. That makes it seem like I thought Baffle was an idiot until today, which is not true. But I mean, that is a really great insight. And now I'm trying to think like how could we test that? But you know what we would do? We would have to do is we would make have to make a whole league of teams where every team is identical and is like perfectly tailored to be a small ball team, right? So lots of speed, lots of bunting, low power. Um, and then when you give each team a different strategy, the team that has small ball as the strategy and the team that's built for small ball, they should crush it. And the small ball team that's running traditional or whatever else might be shouldn't do as well. I think that's the experiment then. Okay, this is great. I'm calling this a success. And primarily due to Baffle's insight, it is a success. Awesome. Okay, so I usually take Wednesdays off. I might do a short stream to help um, Max LP80. I don't think he's on right now because he has to work tomorrow. There are dirty natives involved here. There is an entire league save of the dirtiest sounding names in Major League history. And I was initially going to do it tonight because this is episode 69, and their inaugural season was the 1969 season for Team NSFW. But um, here's one of the. Let me see if I can find one of their slides. Oh, here we go. Yes, it was a missed opportunity, right? So a couple of our cover boys, Charlie Furbush and Doug Fister, Um, yeah, I did think about doing them on episode 69, but I was so excited to do this experiment and baffle. Missed opportunity, maybe, but if we hadn't done this sim tonight, your genius would still be unrecognized. But because we did this episode on episode 69 instead of Team NSFW, we now know if you scratch the surface of Baffle 99, there is genius under there. It's true, but you would take dick jokes over genius every time. And that in itself is its own kind of genius. So Max LP 80, uh, often I rate into him. So I do late night. He does super late night. I think he calls his stream Last Call, which is fitting. He does lots of silver tournament play by plays and silver roster builds. And he's good. He's jumped up to like he was in the top 10, I think, in no time in silver. And I think he's playing in bronze now too. So we usually rate in him. Uh, Wednesdays I usually take the night off, but he can't start too early, and so I might help bridge again from Ezra Denny to Max so that we don't lose the raid, and we can raid him a nice big audience for his stream. But this Friday, I have a daytime stream, a rare daytime stream, because I wanted to show other people outside of our usual audience all this stuff we learned about how the game engine works and this weird normalization thing that happens. And to demonstrate it, I did a sim of a league full of Babe Ruths. And I've been asking people to fill out this survey. It's only 2 questions long, and it asks you what you think would happen in a league full of 1927 Babe Ruths. How many home runs would the league leading home run? How many home runs would the league leading Babe Ruth hit? And what would be the batting average of the league leading Babe Ruth? And and the only pitcher in this league is 2000 Jose Lima, who was terrible. So, yeah, baffle. Especially because I don't think you've seen our normalization episodes. You would be an awesome person to fill out this 2 question survey for me. So I hope you'll click on it and take a minute out of your day to put in some guesses for those 2 questions. And then on Friday, 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern, I will be showing both the results of the survey and what actually happened when we did a sim of all Babe Ruths and what the implications are for when you do experiments in the base game. And I have a very simple way everyone can keep their experiments working the way they expect them to. So that's my teaser for Friday's show. Those of you who have been watching all the normalization stuff, like P Boom and Barry Basher, you guys, this will be, you know, old hat to you. But think about all the people who play OOTP who don't know this yet. Like I want to both blow their minds, but also give them the tools to make sure their sims work the way they want them to. So that'll be Friday. All right. So I'm going to try to find someone interesting for us. Hey, Baffle, are you going to stream? I can raid into you if you're about to stream. Let's see who's streaming tonight. Oh, Cheeky is still on, but he's not doing OOTP right now. Baffle's going to bed. Okay. Oh, you're gonna go? Are you gonna go make some nachos in bed, Baffle? Because you know who trying to ball's making some nachos. I can't believe his girlfriend let him tell all of us on Twitch that they're going to be making nachos. Look at Peebles. Peebles just walked into a stray bullet. Baffle says, I'm 52. Nacho making is once a year thing now. Would that be, are those birthday nachos, Baffles? That's awesome. So let's see. I can rate us into Italics, who's still working on his sim. Usually drunk nachos. Who's trying to boss not answers though? He really must be making some nachos. All right, so here's what we can do. We like to support our fellow OOTPers, so we can rate into Cheeky, except he's not playing OOTP. Or we can rate into OOTP and rate into Italics. Let's see, Baffle's going to bed, so let's let P Boom decide. P Boom, would you rather rate into Cheeky, who's an OT affiliate, but he's doing non OOTP right now? Or would you rather rate into someone who's doing OOTP? While I wait to hear from P Boom, I'll also say thank you to Ezra Denny for the raid. So it got us kick-started this evening or this night. I'm trying to decipher what P Boom just said. Man, I don't know. Maybe he's saying, man, I don't know. All right. Baffle says, I think Iono is a hot tub streamer. Oh, is Italics in the regular season? Okay, I kind of want to see that then. If he's actually playing finally. Okay. All right, so let's rate in Italics. I want to see what's going on with his sim. So Baffle, the joke has been this guy Italics has been working on setting up his OTP regular season save for is it weeks and like dozens of hours of game time. And look, I'm actually not critical of that. Like, I think that's great that he's putting that much thought and effort into setting up his league. But also, I mean, I would have just played a season just to see what it's like, and then gone in to set up my save. I like the patience and discipline that takes to like set up a whole season before you play a single pitch is kind of amazing to me. Um, so yeah, so let's check him out, especially if he's doing the regular season now. All right, thanks for being here, y'all. Thanks for being active in the chat. I hope you enjoyed this experiment with the completely neutral league and testing the effect of strategy presets. And I know I enjoyed Baffle 99 blowing my mind with his insight into strategy doesn't matter unless you have a team that fits that strategy. Man, that was awesome. Like legit awesome. No kidding. That was great. All right, let's watch Italics actually play some games now in the base game. I applaud his diligence in setting it up, but I want to see him play some baseball.